Welcome once again. Today I'll be starting chapter 6, that is forms of market structure, the basic concepts. In this, I will basically focus on the main features of the following market structures, such as perfectly competitive market, monopolistically competitive market, monopsony market. So for monopsony market, we will only highlight the meaning. We'll only go through the meaning of this market. So let's begin. With the concept of market. Market refers to a physical place where commodities are bought and sold. Like whenever the word market we hear, the first and foremost picture that comes in our mind is either the Sakchi market or the Bistopu market. So, like vegetable market, we have fish market, we have daily use item market. Okay, so these are generally the markets which you find in your local areas. But for goods like wheat, gold, or you can say the commodities like silver and all, so you have the world market, which is the larger area. So a market means a system or a setup in which the buyers and sellers of a commodity are able to communicate with each other and they strike a deal or come to a common price. So what is strike a deal or come to a common price? It is a price at which the seller will be ready to sell and the buyer will be ready to buy. So there are two distinguishing features of the market. A market need not be a particular place. Like when you go for an online market or online purchasing. So is there any specific market? No. So the geographic area of a market may be large or small depending on how scattered the buyers and sellers are. It may be a small market like local market or large market like the world market for wheat, computers, aeroplanes, etc. The essential feature of market is that the buyers and sellers should be able to strike a deal about the price and quantity to be bought and sold. Like for this much quantity of product, this will be the price. So that is a common price and that price should be agreed upon by the buyer and the seller. For this, buyer and seller need not have a personal contact with each other. They need to have a system of communication with each other so that they come to a bargain. For instance, a transaction or a deal can be made through correspondence such as telephone, internet, social media, etc. Next, I move on to the nature and structure of market. Market structure refers to the types of market in which the producers or firm operate. It indicates how the market is organized. Various types of markets can be broadly classified on the basis of competitiveness of the market structure. The competitiveness of the market structure refers to the extent to which individual firms have the power to influence the market price of a commodity. The lesser the power that an individual firm has in influencing the price, the more competitive the market structure. One of the extreme form of market structure is perfect competition, where the firm has absolutely no power to influence the price of commodity. In such a market, there are so many firms and producers that none of them has any control on the price. For example, no single farmer is able to influence the price of wheat or a vegetable he produces. On the other extreme, there is another form of market structure, that is monopoly, where there is only one producer of goods. A monopolist enjoys considerable power to influence the price of commodity. For instance, electricity board of the city. It is the sole supplier of electricity. So, no competition faced by the electricity board. Therefore, it has the power to influence the price of the electricity there. Next, I move on to the monopolistic competition. Monopolistic and oligopoly are two such market forms which are neither fully competitive nor fully monopolistic. For example, the producer of a particular brand of toothpaste or a particular brand of car can influence the price of his product, but only to a limited extent. So we'll just study this later on in the chapter. There are various factors affecting the market structure. First factor is the number of buyers and sellers. The power of a seller to influence the market depends upon its share in the total supply. The smaller the number of sellers, the larger would be the power of a firm to influence the price, because it produces a large proportion of the total supply. On the other hand, if the number of sellers in the market is large, the power of the seller to influence the market would be less, because its share in the total supply is less. Is nature of the product. Different market forms are distinguished from each other on the basis of the nature of the product. Homogeneous or differentiated product. The amount of competition in a market depends on how similar are the goods produced by different firms. In a perfectly competitive market, goods produced by different firms are homogeneous. Therefore, no single firm has any basis to charge a higher price for its product. Homogeneous product, same kind of product. But producers in a monopolistic competitive market produce differentiated product. As a result, different producers of similar goods are in a position to charge different prices for the goods they produce. So, homogeneous are identical products, differentiated products are non-identical products. Next factor is knowledge about the market. Different forms of market are distinguished from each other on the basis of knowledge or lack of the knowledge. If buyers and sellers have full information about the market condition, the price at which the product is being sold by other sellers, and the quality of the product, then the single price would prevail in the market. This is the situation under perfect competition. But under monopolistic competition, consumers may be ignorant about the quality of brands produced by different producers. This may result in differentiated price being charged for the same or similar product. Next is freedom of entry or exit. Different forms of market are differentiated from each other on the basis of nature of entry of firms into the industry. Freedom of entry or exit means that there are no restrictions on the entry of the new firm and exit of the existing firm. Freedom of entry ensures that producers end up earning normal profit. If the existing producer of the commodity are earning abnormal profit, new firms would enter into the industry. This would lead to an increase in the supply of commodity, resulting in the fall in its price and thereby decrease in the profit. Free entry or exit is the characteristics of perfectly competitive and monopolistic market. But if there are restrictions on the entry of new producers, the existing firm may continue to earn higher profit without any fear of rival producers entering the industry. The essence of monopoly form of market structure is the condition of closed entry of the firm. Next is degree of price influence. Differentiated form of market differ from each other in terms of their influence in price determination. So I'll continue this point in the next slide. Degree of price influence. A perfectly competitive firm does not have any influence on the market. It is considered to be a price taker. But in a monopolistic market structure, a firm is a price maker. The position of monopolistic competition is in between these two extremes. A firm under monopolistic competition has some power to influence the price, but it has to take into consideration the pricing policy of the rival firms while deciding its pricing policy. So it is a price maker, but within certain limits. I hope till here it is clear. So I'll get back to you in the next class. Thank you for today. Have a nice day ahead.